My mother and I need help desperately to take care of the 4 children of my twin sister that was killed by her husband after she and the children had suffered at his hands. No woman should ever have to live the way my twin sister did.
Hey guys, welcome to my channel and thank you so much for watching What is Good. I'm Jade if you're new here. So I have an Osinachi Children update for you guys. But first of all, the clip that played at the beginning of this video was of Osinachis twin sister, Osinachi Grace, soliciting for financial support for Osinachis children. But more on that in a little bit. But in the meantime, let's talk about Mr. Peter Nwanchukwu, the husband of late Osinachi Nwanchukwu, who was arraigned in court on Friday, June 2nd, for a bail hearing after a previous appearance on the 27th of May, where 23 counts charges were laid against him by the federal government. And while Mr. Peter was being escorted to the courtroom in Abuja, he shouted to the reporters denying that he killed his wife, and he said his wife died of lung cancer. Take a look at this and I'll be back.
Get the whole world. I've suffered a lot. Please. I've suffered. I abandoned. What killed my wife is lungs, cancer of the lungs, not killing my wife. I didn't kill my wife. Cancer of the lungs is what killed my wife. Osinachis Children. So I'm suffering for what I didn't pass through. What I don't know.
So you guys just saw that. You guys just heard Mr. Peter Nwanchukwu saying that he wanted to tell the world the truth, that he had suffered, that he had been abandoned, that what killed his wife was lung cancer, that he didn't hate his wife, that he's suffering for what he didn't do. Basically denying. And obviously this doesn't surprise me. Of course he's not going to admit to what he had done. He's going to deny it with his last breath. Is what people typically do. Cowards, it's what they do. But Oga, everybody cannot be lying against you. Even your pastor Paul Enenche revealed conversations that he had with some close associates of you guys who confirmed to him that they witnessed some of the physical Osinachi suffered. And what about your children who also confirmed the same thing? Even if the whole world is ganging up against you, even if the whole world is plotting and lying against you, what about your children? Why would they lie, knowing that lying will only result in you being sent away for a long time or possibly forever? Knowing that they had already lost a parent, why would they lie? Why would they lie on you when you really are the only parent that they have left? Meanwhile, if you're saying your wife had lung cancer and your pastor Paul Enenche said she didn't have it because you guys did a test or whatever, that means you're calling your pastor a liar, which doesn't surprise me. I mean, he could very well be lying. Maybe it's in his best interest as a businessman, as a man of God to lie, because the optics does not look good for him to have a high-level member of his church being afflicted with an ailment, yet he's unable to heal this member, even though he's prancing around and parading himself as a deliverance minister. That won't get us to be now, People will definitely give him a side eye. Maybe that's the reason why he felt a need to, come out and say, oh, they had a scare, but they had the biopsy and the result showed that she didn't have the C word and stuff like that. You understand? Because it does not look good on him that somebody like top tier like that will be afflicted with something like that. And he that is always boasting and bragging and showing off his deliverance skills, he couldn't save her, he couldn't heal her. That won't get us to be. I beg, it get us to be. People will ask questions now, Abi. People must ask. The only thing now is for the autopsy results, which a lot of us are waiting for. The results will definitely answer some of the questions that most of us have, such as, did she really have the big C? And if she did have it, and you were still putting your hands on this woman, what does that say about you? What does that make you? Because I don't think your children were lying when they said you were doing those things to this woman. I don't think that they were lying. I don't think your sister-in-law was lying, Osinachi's twin sister. I don't think she was lying either. And Frank Edwards, was he lying too? Why in God's name will that man lie about some of the things that he accused you of? Like, what does he have to gain by lying? I don't think he was lying. I don't think any of these people were lying when they accused you of those things. Just hope that Osinachi gets justice and justice himself in this situation. Anyway, during Friday's court session, the judge denied Mr. Nwachukwu's bail, remanding him at the Kuje Correctional Facility pending the hearing and outcome of the case against him. During the Friday hearing, Mr. Peter Nwachukwu pled not guilty to all 23 counts bordering on domestic violence, culpable homicide, among others. And after hearing Mr. Peter Nwachukwu's not guilty plea, the judge then ordered an accelerated hearing and ordered the trial to begin on June 16 from noon and on June 17 by 9 a.m. So those are the trial dates, and I will keep you guys updated as more becomes available. So I want to talk about Osinachis Sister soliciting for funds. Go ahead and take a look at this video, and I'll be back with the rest of my thoughts.
I am Amarachi, the twin sister of late Osinachi Nwachukwu. Miss Osinachi Nwachukwu was known to be an anointed minister of the gospel. Through her songs like Ekweme, The Cry, and The God of All Power, many souls were blessed. She was a respecter of every man, one who believes in being kind, as she has helped some people who crossed her path. She sadly suffered domestic violence at the hand of her husband for years. The last leaving her hospitalized from internal injuries sustained from being kicked on the chest multiple times. The hospital confirmed they observed heavy internal bleeding around her chest area, yet didn't know the cause before she died on the 8th of April 2022. The death of my sister left me and my family heartbroken. She also left behind 4 kids. The oldest were being in his early 10s. And since she was the breadwinner of her family, her kids would definitely need help. The court served them quick notice, stating that their rent expired on 13th April 2022. So far, Her Excellency, Honorable Minister for Women Affairs, in her motherly love, has rendered help to us. She visited the children, followed up the case to see the justice prevails, helped the children to change their environment. She has written to the Excellencies, the Governor of Enugu State and the wife, the Governor of Abia State and the wife. She also wrote to the Commissioners of Women Affairs of both states. We are yet to get the response from them. My mother and I need help desperately to take care of the 4 children of my twin sister that was killed by her husband after she and the children had suffered years of abuse and domestic violence at his hands. No woman should ever have to live or die the way my twin sister did. No child should ever have to suffer the way her 4 children have suffered. And I'm still suffering now. Please, please help us. I am Amarachi, Osinachi twin sister. Thank you.
So you guys just saw that. You guys just saw twin sister Amarachi soliciting for funds in order to be able to help the children and the children that Osinachi left behind. My heart goes out to them. I am just so happy that the children have somebody from their mother's side who is very close to their mother, who was very close to their mother until their evil father came into the picture, and I really trust, I don't know these people obviously, but I do believe that if there is anybody that will be able to care for those children, it'll be the twin sister. And just everybody, they all seem to really love Osinachi, and they really cared for her, and they really wish they could have done more. So I really do believe that with the exception of their mother not being here, the children are going to be in good hands, being raised by their aunties and even their grandmother. Let this just be a lesson to everybody. I hope that people can draw the lessons from this. I always say that bad things do not always have to happen to you before you can learn. Like, you are only one person. Bad things don't have to happen to you before you can learn. Otherwise, when you're dead, you cannot learn, right? So yeah, just draw lessons from this and get help when you absolutely need to get help. Because Osinachi, everyone around her was probably telling her, even this pastor now, that is now saying, oh, they didn't know about it. Do I believe that Pastor Paul Enenche and his wife didn't have any idea that something was happening to Osinachi? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I don't believe that. That was just a cop-out on their part, trying to save face, trying to pretend as if, oh, if they knew something was going on, they would have done something. I mean, give me a break. I don't believe that for 1 second. I do not believe that this man had no knowledge of what was happening in his church. Like, everybody knew. This was like an open secret, okay? Yes, Osinachi may have said, oh, please don't tell anybody, but people still knew about it. People knew that she was going through this. People knew. So how are you going to say that, oh, you didn't know? It was an open secret. Everybody knew. So all these people that are now coming out now to testify to what this man did, it's not like they just started to learn. They already knew. Some of them said they knew about it. Some of them even witnessed it. So how am I supposed to believe that things that were happening under your nose as a pastor to a family that you were very close to, how am I supposed to believe that you didn't know? No, please. I don't believe that, Oga. You knew. Because you were trying to protect something, your church image. It would have been a bad publicity for any member of your church to be divorced, especially somebody of her caliber, especially somebody of her position in the church. That's the same reason why you people had people go over and beg when she first left him. It was all about saving face. All this one that you people are saying, I don't know. I'm not buying any of that. And I hope that people can learn. If you are currently in this situation that Osinachi was in, I hope you learn from this. Because when something happens to you, even the people that were maybe telling you, oh, pray, God will change him, blah, blah, blah. Those are the people that are going to come out and say, I didn't know. She never told me. Nobody told me. You're gone. You're dead. There is nothing you can do. No one, a dead person does not feel headache. Do you understand? So do what you need to do to protect yourself, and yeah. Anyways, this is how I'm going to end this. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Like this video if you like it. Subscribe to my channel if you have not already done so. I am going to leave some links in the description. Be sure to click on it to follow the link to the different resources that are available. So on that note, thank you so much. I'll catch you guys in my next one. Bye guys.